Welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thank you so much for continuing to come back and watch my movie reviews. I really appreciate you all of your support, truly. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click on that bell notification too, and it'll notify you every time I upload a new movie review, documentary review, or trailer reaction. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called The Bubble. It's rated R and is 2 hours and 6 minutes long. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, in a nutshell, a group of spoiled actors and actresses stuck inside a pandemic bubble at a ritzy hotel attempt to make a film in their popular dinosaur franchise. The goofy flick was written and directed by Judd Apatow, who also invited his lovely daughter Iris to join in the cast. And guess who her mother is? Leslie Mann, who also stars in the movie. It's definitely a family affair for the Apatows. So making a movie during the pandemic had to have been extremely difficult. But hey, we all had to continue working and earning a living and doing what we had to do during the same pandemic, right? I think we're all grateful that the filmmakers continued to pump out entertaining things for us to watch while stuck at home during quarantine. So this satirical look at Hollywood is fun at times and yet tiring at the same time. Let me give you a list of all the things I liked and didn't like, and I'll also point out tips for parents, themes worth talking about, movie lines that are funny and interesting, and even some recommendations for other films that I think that you'll also like and probably better than this one. All right, so here are the things that I liked about this movie. First of all, the talented cast includes fan favorites like Keegan-Michael Key, Pedro Pascal, Leslie Mann, Fred Armisen, and Karen Gillan. Cast member Maria Bakalova was told on set that she had just been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress during the movie and during the filming, which is pretty cool. So another cast member I'd never seen before is Harry Trevordwen. Trevordwen? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Or Samson Kayo in anything before. And I really liked both of them and would like to see what else they can do in future films. This is also Galen Hopper's acting debut. She's the daughter of the late Dennis Hopper. So that's awesome. I love cameo performances by actors, and this film has several. So I always get a kick out of that. The timing is also really great for this film and story, as the next/last Jurassic Park movie is coming out soon. And this cast of actors is kind of supposed to make us feel like the cast of actors from the Jurassic Park franchise, because it's a dinosaur franchise. Anyway, I laughed during the movie. I did, just not as often as I wanted to, because not all of the humor lands. It's fun to see how various scenes are filmed against the green screens. And I always love movies about how movies are made. So for those things, I really enjoyed the film. But let me give you the list of things that I didn't like or thought could have been done a little bit better. So first of all, I knew my husband would not like this at all. So I watched it without him. And I think a lot of people that hate watching Hollywood stars give themselves awards and, talk about how amazing they are not going to enjoy this movie. However, they poke fun at Hollywood and themselves. And so in that regard, they might enjoy it. Ultimately, it's really hard to watch spoiled, rich, famous people whining about the pandemic and quarantine that we all went through. The problem with privileged characters like that in a story or in a movie is that we don't really care about any of them or feel sorry for them if they get eaten by dinosaurs or shot or killed. And I'm not saying any of those things are happening in this movie, but you know what I mean? The trailer, I think, also has some of the best scenes in the trailer. So watch the trailer, and if you're like, oh, that's amazing, I've got to watch the movie, then you're probably going to enjoy it. But if you're like, oh, that looks lame, then the rest of the movie is even worse. It's just way too long of a movie for what it gives us. And like I said, a lot of the humor doesn't land. We know the movie's supposed to be funny, and we love many of the actors in it. But in this case, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. The movie should have worked, but it kind of flops instead. The plot points and the jokes repeat over and over and over and over again. And once might be funny, but let's move on. Judd Apatow bragged that he finished the script in only 8 weeks, and sadly, it shows. Let me give you some tips for parents. The movie is rated R, and there are some inappropriate moments. There are premarital relations. You see people doing stuff, not tons of skin and all of that, but enough that it's rated R. There's profanity and lots of F-bombs, which automatically makes it rated R. There's lots of self-centered behavior, bullying. People do die in the movie, and there is some violence. Some of the themes that the movie illustrated well are Hollywood, pampered celebrities, self-centeredness, narcissism, pandemic and quarantine, indulgence, satire, the power of social media, infidelity, and relationships, friendships, and marriage. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can run over there and check all that stuff out. In the meantime, I'll share one of the funny lines that just kind of made me smirk, really. It's spoken by Dustin Mulray, and he says, "I don't like it. Stop being Benedict Cumberbatch," because there's some of this face stuff changing. Little scene when, I didn't mention another parental tip is when people take drugs. And so they're starting to see things. And so this one character starts to look like Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever. Anyway, and then I was going to write down interesting lines, but the ones that I thought were interesting had F-bombs in them. There really are so many F-bombs. And to me, I just don't think that's funny. It's not appropriate. The movie could have easily been PG-13 and been a family-friendly watch if they had deleted some of that kind of stuff. But such as it is, my overall movie review mom grade is a D for disappointing. So I did think of a couple of movies instantly as I was watching this. One is called Tropic Thunder. It's an old classic. I don't know if you call it a classic, but it's one that pokes fun at celebrities. It's during the war. There's violence and death and some blood and gore and that kind of stuff. So not family friendly, but I think it kind of pokes fun at Hollywood well. And then another one is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's not a big comedy like this one is attempting to be, but it actually does have some satire. And I thought that there were some really funny moments in that movie, and it actually got a lot of Oscar buzz for it even. So check that one out if it sounds interesting to you. All right, that's it for my movie review. I hope if you watch this movie that you do enjoy it. And by the way, I don't think I even mentioned it's available now on Netflix. Thank you so much for visiting me over on Instagram and on our Facebook group. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.